Valentine's Day is approaching, isn't it, babes? Valentine is coming.
Hey!
Where's your boyfriend?
Hey!
It's not alone.
Hey!
Lonely.
Lonely!
So I want to show you how to make a cookie cake. So this cookie cake is very adaptable. So obviously I'm doing it for Valentine's Day, but you can do it for anything. It can be for a birthday. You can do different shapes. You can do letters. You can do numbers. So it's quite adaptable. So guys, let us start with the cookie base. So I am using my sugar cookie recipe for this cookie cake. So if you haven't yet watched my sugar cookie recipe, pause this right now and click on the link below to watch that first so you know how I got to this cookie dough. Okay, let's begin. So first things first, I'm gonna roll out my cookie dough. I've got here my heart-shaped cutter. I'm also gonna link this below, so don't worry, I got you. I've got, remember my rolling pin, the one that has the connection so that my cookie can be the same thickness all round. And then I've got my baking tray, parchment paper. And then in here, I've just got some flour, which I'm gonna use to dust here so when I roll out, it doesn't stick to my mat. For this cookie cake, make sure that you have a silicone mat. And I'll tell you why as we go along. It's very important because when you're transferring the cookie to the pan, you wanna make sure that you're not lifting it because it can break. But anyway, I'll show you that as we go along. Okay, so first thing first, I am going to dust some flour on here. And I've got my cookie dough here.
Oh, okay.
For this cookie cake, I'm gonna do about maybe 3 layers. As you can see, my cookie dough is chilled, so I pop this in the fridge. So now it just makes it easier to roll out and not stick to my rolling pin. So I'm just gonna roll this out into a circle. Just making sure that I'm lifting it up so that it's not sticking to the mat. Turning it around like that, putting more flour on it, and I'm rolling it out. So I've got my cutter now, so I'm gonna cut that down like that. And then I'm gonna take off the sides, put that aside. You don't want to use when you take this off, you take that off, you don't want to use your fingers because if you use your fingers to pick it up, disaster, it's just going to get your prints on it, it's going to break, and you don't want that. So what you want to do is, you want to lift this up like this. You've got your pan, turn it over like this, and then flip it. So, and then carefully peel this off like that. And then what you can do is take off this middle bit, so that bit you can just pinch up. And then as you can see, it's perfect. So there's no moving about, it's held its shape. Now I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. You guys know the drill. If you've watched my sugar cookie, you know that you pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to 1 hour so that it's set. So when it goes in the fridge, it's not, when it goes into the oven, it's not spreading. Okay, now I'm gonna do this 2 more times. So I've cut all 3 of them now into heart shapes. So now that they're out of the fridge, I'm now gonna pop it in the oven. Okay guys, whilst the cookies are in the oven, I'm gonna show you how to make American buttercream because this is the buttercream that I'm going to use to decorate the cookie cake. Okay, so for the 3 ingredients, you need some butter, which is in my bowl already. I've got some icing sugar, make sure that you sift it thoroughly. And I've got some milk to thin down the icing. So for every 1 part of butter you use 2 parts icing sugar. So for example, here, I've got 300 grams of butter, so I'm gonna use 600 grams of icing sugar. Talking about. Is now that I've whipped up the butter, it's very light and it's changed color. So as you guys know, butter can be quite yellow. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it's got focus on it. So it's now very pale and it's light, it's airy. So now you know that you're ready to pop in your icing sugar. So with the icing sugar, there's no technique, I'll just pour in, to be honest. Okay. So now I'm gonna mix it all together. And there you go, guys. That is how you make American buttercream. As you can see, it's fluffy, it's smooth, and guys, it tastes delicious. Okay, so for this cookie cake, I'm gonna be using pink and red because why not? It's Valentine's Day and I can't think of any other color. So I've got my color from Color Mill. Color Mill is actually a very good brand when it comes to coloring chocolate, colouring buttercream. They're very expensive, but however, I do love them. And I remember my babes actually bought me the set of 36, I think, of different colours, so I do have them. They're an Australian brand, so I would say definitely check them out. They're really good. Okay, let's start dyeing this. So shake first, obviously. Okay, so to decorate this cake, I've got my buttercream, which I have here, we made earlier. And then I have my cake board. It's like a marble effect cake board. I really like this one. I got it, I think it's a 12-inch. I got it from my cake shop. And I've got a large piping bag because this is where I'm gonna put the buttercream in. Okay, so for the filling of the cookie cake, I want it to be half red and half pink. So what I'm gonna do is here. Okay, so I'm just popping the buttercream into my cling film. This is a technique that I learned the other day. And basically, I'll just roll it over into a sausage and pop it into my piping bag to get the two-tone effect. And now, I'm gonna slip this part and I'm gonna pop it into the piping bag like this. And push it all the way down. And that way, I'll get my two-colour effect. That was long. So I've got my 3 piping bags. I've got pink and red. I put the pink and red buttercream into one of the bags with a 12 Morton tip. Then I've got a my red one in my Wilton 4B and my pink one in my Wilton 2D. Okay, so my cookies have been out of the oven. They've been sitting in room temperature. They have firmed up. They are now hard. They're still very fragile. So guys, please be careful because you don't, this is the part you don't want to now snap it because like, oh, it's so annoying. So when you're picking it up, make sure you're picking it up like this so that it's easier to maneuver around. So I've got my cake board here. So now I'm gonna start with my first one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some buttercream, like a heart shape, just so that I can stick it down. Like roughly a heart shape, so I can stick it down. So make sure that's in the center. If you can see any buttercream on this side, you can just wipe it off later with some tissue. But for now, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So now I'm gonna pipe circles in the layers in between. So what you're gonna do is hold your piping bag like this. What you wanna do is pop circles like this. I've done that first bit now. Now I'm gonna put my cookie, one layer of the cookie on top. Make sure that you're very careful because you don't want to mess it up and drop it. So I've got my cookie here, line it up, and then I'm going to place it on top nicely, like that, okay? And then we're going to go again.
So you made 3 biscuits and you put them on top of each other.
Pretty much. So to decorate the top of the cake now, got my buttercream, as you guys know. Got some sprinkles that I ordered from Amazon as well. Listen guys, Amazon is like my go-to for everything. It's not smart if you're trying to do this as a business. So I would say try and go for places that are more wholesale. But if you want something quick, Amazon is your place. So I've got some sprinkles from Amazon. I've got some glitter which I got from a cake shop. I've got a plaque here which says Happy Valentine's Day. So I've got the Happy Valentine's Day plaque here. I've got some hearts, little fondant hearts that I bought as well. And I've got some chocolate hearts as well. Let's decorate this cake. I've got my red buttercream here and I'm gonna do some swirls. So hold the piping bag, and then you push down and swirl. Do that again, and you push down and you swirl. Okay, and then I'm gonna carry on and do that a few times on the cookie cake. Now I'm just adding some pink roses. So I used my Walton 2D tip to make these roses, and you push and then you swirl. And I'm gonna carry on doing that. So now all the piping is done. I'm now going to start adding my decorations that I've got here. So let's start with the chocolate hearts. Added all my decorations on. Now I'm just adding the final bit, which is my red glitter. So there you go, guys. That is how to make a sugar cookie cake. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried it out, and I will catch you guys on my next video. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell.